Hoyt Rx-9 versus the Lift 29.5X. Similarities and differences. First things first, the Lift came in a little hot at 73.4 pounds, 28 inch, RIP TKO 27 inches at 295 feet per second. The Rx-9 was 71.8 pounds, which was still a little hot, and it come in at the exact same feet per second, which really surprised me. So Hoyt really picked it up optimizing these cams. The other thing that I'm going to notice, that I would say that you would notice quickly between these two, is if you closed your eyes and drew both of these bows, now that Hoyt has optimized their cams or their modules, man, the draw cycle is very, very similar. There are very, very minute differences between these two draw cycles. So good or bad, it kind of depends on who you are. A lot of people are going to like last year's Hoyt's better than this year's just because of that draw cycle. But I'm a short draw guy, so 28 inches, and I pick up 10, 12 feet per second, and I'm super happy with that. Mathews is definitely more dead in the hand. There's absolutely no denying that, but it's also a little bit of the feel from aluminum to carbon. I personally prefer the carbon feel. I've just been shooting these Hoyts for a long time now, and I just love the way that carbon feels, especially on a cold day. But there are so close when it comes to picking between these two bows, and I know probably everybody in the southeast, or most everybody's going to pick the Mathews because there's a huge Mathews presence here. For those of us that love the Hoyts, it's close enough between the two that you would absolutely have no issues picking up a 29.5 and shooting it neck and neck with anybody. It's going to be up to you, not the bow, because they are really good shooting bows. The other thing I want to mention about the new Mathews grips is they have come a long ways. Also, I will say it's a vast improvement. I really like it, but it doesn't feel like home the way the Hoyt does. I just prefer the Hoyt grip over anything. It is by far the favorite grip that I probably will ever have on, as long as they're making this riser with this grip, it's going to be my favorite, and I just don't think anybody can overtake that. The other thing between the two bows that I will mention, I think is noteworthy, is I've had a Lift and a Lift X, and both of them, the string rotation was horrible. It looks straight on my bow right now. When you draw it back, it will be cocked to the right where I probably can't see out of it. And my RX-8 nor this RX-9 had an issue like that. When that peep settled, man, it was square. I had no peep rotation issues where I had to mess with it. And I'm gonna have to put a little string in the Lift and move it up and get it twisted just a little bit. But it happened on both of them, and I've had two brand new Mathews, and both of them the peep rotation was really bad. I've had these last two Hoyts with their new strings, and I've had zero issues on the strings twisting for the peep rotation on that. But these bows are really close. You're not going to be disappointed in either one of them. The draw cycles are just so similar. I think if you close your eyes, it would really be hard to tell the difference. But two great bows. I can't shoot one any better than the other. You can see in my target, I hope you can see, I've got a couple of arrows down there. One of them's the Hoyt, and one of them's the Mathews at 30 yards. I can back up to 50, and the groups are very similar between the two bows. Shooting in the basement at 20 yards, I have noticed that the Mathews grip, I'm a little more torquey on it. I have a tendency to stray a little bit more on it. It seems a little more, I would say a little more sports car-ish. A slight movement of my wrist, and I really can notice, the left and right flyers, where the Hoyt seems a little more stable and a little less response. If that makes sense. And so I do like that, especially in hunting situations when your blood pressure may get up and, it's real easy to pull left or right a few inches, trying to sneak a look at that arrow to make sure it's going to hit home and, torque one way or the other. But overall, you can't go wrong with these two bows. I think anybody who picks either one of them is going to be super happy with it. And I look forward to shooting them another several thousand arrows to see if I can really start grouping better with one versus the other. So I'm going to play a little bit with weight and stabilizers and just see if I can get one where I shoot it way better than the other, maybe for a tack event at 75 to 100 yards, and then I'll come back and give you a report if I can differentiate between the two.